Hello, the Grand Observer here. New segment standing this way, I guess. I'll fix it during video editing to make it look its best. But you won't be able to see what's here until I move the camera around and stuff. But I'm doing cooking with Nathan. Today we're making breakfast for dinner. Bacon, eggs, and sausage. I know. I'm not gonna bother with toast because we don't have any bread. Oh, for Pete's sake, get out of the package. I'm using raw bacon. Gonna make my homemade bacon because I have a specific way of cooking this that no one else does as far as I'm concerned. That makes it absolutely delicious. And geez Louise, this is much greasier than it was the other times I've cooked it. Right. Put 5 of them on at a time so when it starts cooking, it gets it ready. Especially since bacon, as anyone knows, shrinks up when it turns into, when it starts getting crispy and stuff. And it is delicious when done properly. Well, at least with my recipe. The one time I can actually start tasting it, the one time I can actually taste the food that I'm cooking, is when I make bacon. Because normally I actually can't taste most foods, even though some foods I can taste a little, even when I don't. Can't taste a lot most of the time. And some foods are better than others and other sorts. So I always try to balance things out with texture. So, for me anyway. As for everyone else, they can eat, I think because they can actually taste the taste. That's why texture means adding little to some people. Then again, they're all just pigs after all. Oh, where's my fork that I was going to use? My fork, because the plastic spatula, melt. Alright, so let's light this up. Turn it to 4 for now. Start off small. The highest you want to go is 6, otherwise it doesn't cook evenly. Let's see if I can turn the camera around. Nope, I don't think I can. I don't get it. I don't understand that. But there's the bacon. Cooking nice and good. You hear it sizzling. You always want to be careful though. Gotta start turning it constantly. Once it starts sizzling, getting that nice juicy stuff out. And what I do is I let it start sizzling for a few minutes. It's like 2-3 minutes. And then 2-3 minutes of sizzling, which it's pretty much been. Then, what I do, where is it? The spice I use personally. What I do is let it soak into the food. This garlic Himalayan salt. You just put it in the pan, pretty much sprinkling it a lot because when you're going to keep using the same pan for any cooking, because the grease mixes it together much better, makes it even tastier, makes every food tastier. Of course, because it's with the bacon, you won't ever overdo it. You won't ever overdo grease because the bacon is the grease. So like if you cook eggs right after the bacon, it will be fine. The eggs won't be fluffy, of course, but it will be a delectable treat, nonetheless. And I'm actually going to be making a lot of bacon and a lot of eggs and a lot of sausage because I'm cooking this for my whole family. Mark my words, this is my personal recipe that I made when cooking bacon because I don't think anyone else actually soaks the bacon in a spice grease while they're cooking because the bacon gives grease off, right? So why not have it soak in the grease a little while it's cooking? Use the spice to even the flavor out, if that makes sense. And voila, you got yourself delicious, and I do mean delicious, spiced bacon. And I guess a lot of like hunters and stuff, they mix the bacon, and they do soak it in spiced substance. But regular chefs do not, from any restaurant I've been, they do not soak their spices in the grease or the bacon. So it's actually a lot of restaurants bacon actually tastes flat. So you soak the bacon in the grease spice while turning it constantly, You need to make sure it doesn't overcook one side. And you have your delectable, and I do mean delectable, spiced bacon. See, look how brown it's getting. Look how beautiful and brown it's getting. And the spice is actually sticking to the top of it. And bottom as it's soaked. I will put some extra in as I go because the spice does kind of wear out. But to make sure you keep cooking it evenly each time you turn it. Otherwise you're not cooking it at all, you're just burning one side. Sorry if you're just seeing under my arm. Not easy to get this camera angle right. But I guarantee it is delicious. But I'm also terrified of fire, so this is actually quite a pain in the butt for me to cook bacon at least. Even though I do very good at it, if I do say so myself. Because the grease, this is the greasy food. Very greasy. So a lot of grease from the heat splats up. But it's not all bad. Personally, if you're going to use a net or something, you gotta use something that doesn't need to be turned constantly, because bacon does need to be turned constantly. My mother thought of that to help make bacon cooking easier for me, but no, this does not. But a net would not make it better. I'd have to turn it to 5. It's a little low, taking a little longer than I expected, because I do have a lot to cook before everyone gets home. I said around 6:30 is when I would start making dinner. And, well, time goes on, right? This makes me look a little puffy, doesn't it? But no, I'm actually kind of thin. I haven't been eating a lot of grease. Hey, turn over. Turn over! No! Ah, there we go. I'll make this entertaining, even though I'm probably just going to cut stuff off anyway. Now the grease is starting to set in better. What you want it to be almost golden brown, if not kind of reddish brown. It won't be, because when it cools, it actually gets crispy. Okay, when it's a certain color, it's based on color. Like right now, as you can see, it's getting much more brown on this. It's much more brown on that side that I showed the camera of, right? Oh, and then while it's cooking on the other side, oh, for Pete's sake, I need a new fork. Hut, hut, hut. See, it's splutting around, and that's what terrifies me when the grease starts splutting. This is a very kind of old pan, so it doesn't cook too well, but as you can see, this is the other side of the bacon. Much more golden brown on the ones that are cooking well, and turns much better in the long run. And for the sausage, I'm going to use just already cooked sausage, but it will taste better because it'll be soaked in the grease of the delicious bacon. Yeah, apparently my dad actually has a thing when he cooks spaghetti. He dances and sings when he cooks spaghetti. But it's secret. Even I don't know what his thing is when he cooks spaghetti. Personally, breakfast is the easiest thing to cook. And these are cooking all differently, even based on the heat. Thanks to the the pan is really weird, regrettably. And you can put at least 5 bacons in at a time before that needs to, without filling it at first. And then you really want to only do 3 at a time while the stove's still on if you're not going to turn it off, which I normally don't, because it does splatter, it starts sizzling more. Oh, yeah, look at that. See, now this is a good bacon. That's right there. It's going to dry into a nice crispy piece. That burnt a little. That'll be good still. Just gotta take it out. That's burning. Well, not burning. But you see? Oh, no, bad. I flung that almost right into the fire. But yeah, once the grease settles, it makes it much better to cook. That's how it cooks after all, with the grease. So when the grease starts coming in, it cooks much, much better. So, ooh, that sound of sizzling, boys and girls! Cooking that bacon! You hear it? The sizzling is so loud. Trust me, cooking breakfast for dinner is one of my favorite things. As you can hear it sizzling, that's because of the grease already there. It makes it faster cooking for the basis. Then it cooks evenly once the big sizzling is done. And the sizzling is really loud. It's amazing. It really is how bacon cooks. I love it though. Bacon is one of my all-time favorite things to cook. Put in another one. Now remember, keep turning it because now it's going to cook a little bit faster with the grease already there. As you can see, this is the new stuff. And it's already got the spice soaking from the water, from the grease soaking in. Bada bing, bada boom. That is folded on top of this stuff, so it's going to be a little folded. Hot, 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 hot. But believe me, it all cooks really well. Hot, 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 hot. But yeah, this is the bacon portion. Give me a bit and I'll show you the egg portion. And we're back with sausage now. The bacon is all done if you want to see. Looks good, right? Right. We just plop the sausage in there. It says unheated water, but the difference between unheated water, there is a difference on cooking it when there's already grease in the pan, even though it's just warming it up since we've already gotten it. Oh, almost dropped the sausage. Since we've already got the grease in the pan. So it's going to be cooked with my special spiced grease. I presume. I don't know how the difference is going to be cooking wise though. If I will need to be turning these constant. Oh yes I do. These things are cooking really quickly. So I need to cook and cool and turn them. Need to be turning them. Well, these are warming up quick. Look at that. Well, you can't look. Give me a second. And let's see how the sausage is going. See, here's one side. Here is another. Look at that. Golden brown, real quick. All thanks to my special spice grease. Spice grease. That's how you make a good sausage. Even though I'm just warming it up at past tense, etc. Which means these don't actually take long to warm up thanks to the heat already. Just need to make it a little golden brown to make it nice and delectable. Look at those. Those are looking mighty good. A lot easier to warm up on a skillet than a microwave. At least you know it's nice and good. Oh, you hear that grease now going? Grease is cooking the sausage. Look at me. Here's another look at them. Getting more brown they are. Some of them still cook better than others, only because of the pan itself is really old and I use it a lot. No, I don't know if you saw it when I was saying it the first time. Look at that, look at that. That is looking delectable, my dear. I do want to cook it for 5 minutes about, at least. Just to make sure it's constant surveillance, to make sure it doesn't burn. Because we want to make sure the inside is warm and cooked. Even though it's already cooked sausage, you gotta still do the same rules, or just in case. You never know if the productivity people themselves don't know if they have worms or not, right? Gotta make sure it's cooked. And we'll check back once they're done and I start cooking on the eggs. So, be waiting. And we're back. And here's the sausage view. Looks good. Not very bright though. Mainly because I don't have a bright atmosphere. Even with the lights on. Then again, the kitchen lights aren't on. Okay, always have a cup or something ready. Because what you need to do is put the shells somewhere, right? I hope none of the shells are broken this time. Last time I did this, there was some shells broken. Well, it was cracked. Still good, but it doesn't last as long if it's not safely contained inside the shell. Crack, flip. Gotta do this quick, otherwise they don't cook evenly. Woo! Da-da-dum-da. It's the mother da-da-da. I can't say that. YouTube friendly after all. Even though the people that put the stuff on YouTube, the artists and stuff, Nimrods, all of them, cussing. Well, then again, I cuss when I play horror games, so I can't really judge that. But once I get all the eggs in, I'll show you what I do. What I do. Well, then again, I have to show you while I'm doing it. Otherwise, it gets burnt. Have to pop in because I'm making scrambled eggs. Otherwise, it won't fit for everyone. Yada, yada, yada. I actually turned down the heat on the fryer, so it is nice and ready. So it doesn't overcook it before I can get all the eggs in. since there are 4 people in my family, and this is 18 carton eggs. So that's a lot of eggs to cook. I'm still waiting for this pan to break, since I've been using it so much. Look at that, all that yolkiness. Ooh. But eggs are one of the most funnest to cook because of breaking their shells. After all, you can't make a chicken without breaking some eggs. I don't think that's how the joke goes. Oh, that's my dog. Da-da-da-da. Snoop Dogg. That was close, almost some shell fell on in it. Then you'd have to pick it out. Mix, mix, mix. Because you can cook eggs with grease, ladies and gentlemen. But you have to, depending on how many eggs, of course. Keep checking on it, turning it. This is how it looks so far. Beautiful, isn't it? Brown because of the spicing. Because the spice grease water, ladies and gentlemen, makes it absolutely gorgeous and delectable. My hands are covered in egg yolk. Hey, shoo, Dewey. Got a dog underneath my feet. My dog, to be exact. Oh dear. La 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 la. And once this is all finished, I'll show you the finished product, so stay tuned. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with an update on the eggs. Before it looked a lot more liquidy, and now we got more solid egg. Voila. Much more beautiful now, with a nice solid head coloring. So I have the very bright lights on. It looks much different on camera, but it looks delectable, my darling. Once it's fully cooked, all the yolk is more dry, then it will be ready to eat, and then we'll see the final product of the Nathan's Specialty Breakfast Buffet. Well, not buffet, since I don't have unlimited eggs, unlimited bacon to cook. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finished Nathan's Breakfast Buffet. Well, not buffet, but still. Let's take a pan around, shall we? And that's how you cook delicious food. Takes about 30 minutes, but well worth it when cooked right. So have a good one.